Chapter 1143. Lu Ming quickly said that he didn't dare and then chatted with them for a while. Through the conversation, Lu Ming found out that all of them had offended the royal family or the powerful figures in the ancient Saint dynasty. There were even experts from the overlord forces among them. They might not know each other outside, but they were very united in the abyss of hell. Because in the abyss of hell, if they weren't united, they would be defeated by the Moshe clan one by one and be buried here. Similarly, the royal family had set a score for them. As long as they could complete the score, they would be allowed to leave. However, the score was so high that it made them despair. However, they were all spiritual God realm experts who could live for 5,000 years. They weren't willing to be locked up in the abyss of hell for the rest of their lives. Therefore, they hoped that they could accumulate enough points to leave the abyss of hell. Therefore, they would constantly hunt down the Moshe clan. In return, the Moshe clan would kill them. That was why the Moshe clan attacked the city today. In fact, the Moshe clan attacking the city was a common occurrence. However, the Moshe clan that came today was a little too strong. "Little brother Lu, can we have a chat in the castle?" Du Shan invited. "It's okay. However, I have a question that I would like to ask all of you." Lu Ming cupped his fists and said, "What is it? Just say it. As long as I know, I will tell you." The others said one after another. "Seniors, may I ask if you have seen 16th Princess?" Lu Ming asked. 16th Princess? Are you talking about 16th Princess who has the bloodline of the royal family? I haven't seen her, but I heard that she is in the abyss of hell. Du Shan pondered for a moment and said. Many others shook their heads. "I have seen 16th Princess once." A voice sounded, causing Lu Ming's heart to skip a beat. It was the white-haired old woman. "Senior, when was that? Where did you see her?" Lu Ming asked hurriedly. "A few months ago, about a few million miles away from here. I even talked to 16th Princess. She said that she was going to the Devil Steely Mountain." The old woman replied. "What? Devil Steely Mountain?" Everyone else sucked in a breath of cold air. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat and said, "Devil Steely Mountain? Is it very dangerous?" "Indeed, it's very dangerous. Brother Lu, the Devil Steely Mountain is a forbidden area in the 9 underworlds. Many powerful Devil Temple clan members have entered the Devil Steely Mountain and they all died there. Humans are no exception." Du Shan sighed. "There's no way out." Lu Ming started to feel anxious. If it was so dangerous, why would Xian Yanqing go? "Seniors, do you have a map to the Devil Steely Mountain?" Lu Ming said. "Brother Lu, are you going to the Devil Steely Mountain? That place is extremely dangerous." Although the Devil Steely Mountain is incomparably dangerous, there are powerful Devil Temple clans residing around the Devil Steely Mountain all year round. They cultivate in the outer region of the Devil Steely Mountain, hoping to obtain some good fortune. Therefore, the outer region of the Devil Steely Mountain is extremely dangerous. "Little brother, you have to be careful." The white-haired old woman tried to mediate. "Many thanks, seniors. However, Lu Ming must go to the Devil Steely Mountain." Lu Ming's tone was resolute. Now that he knew Xian Yanqing's whereabouts and that he might be in danger, he had to go even if he had to climb a mountain of swords or enter a sea of flames. Seeing Lu Ming's resolute attitude, Du Shan, the white-haired old Ou, and the others sighed and stopped trying to persuade him. In the end, the white-haired old Ou took out a map and gave it to Lu Ming. The map was rough, but it roughly depicted the 9 Nether Devil domains' topography and location. On the map, there was a rough route to the 9 Nether Devil Steely Mountain. "Many thanks, seniors. Lu Ming will take his leave." Lu Ming kept the map and bid farewell to the others. He didn't want to waste a second. Lu Ming transformed into a beam of light and pierced through the night sky, heading in the direction of the demonic Tablet Mountain at an extremely fast speed. On the way, Lu Ming used an illusory aura technique to darken his aura, making it similar to the Devil Temple clan's aura. As expected, it saved him a lot of trouble. The number of Devil Temple clan members who attacked him decreased greatly. Lu Ming's speed was very fast. He was on his way. A few months ago, Xian Yanqing went to the Devil Steely Mountain. He should have arrived by now. The Devil's Steely Mountain is so dangerous. How is Xian Yanqing now? Thinking of this, Lu Ming's heart was burning with anxiety. He couldn't wait to get to Xian Yanqing's side. The Devil's Steely Mountain was located in the depths of the 9 Nether Devil domain. It was very far away from the castle where Du Shan and the others were. With Lu Ming's speed, it took him 5 days to reach the Devil's Steely Mountain. Lu Ming stood in the air and looked into the distance. He was slightly shocked. This area was filled with mountains as far as the eye could see. There were many mountains and steep ridges with all kinds of strange plants growing on them. However, among the mountains, there was a mountain peak that was extremely prominent. Even from a very far distance, one could see it with a single glance. This was because the mountain peak was too majestic. It was like a crane in a flock of chickens among the mountains. It was high up in the sky and no one knew how high it was. The mountain was shrouded in black mist. It was impossible to see the exact situation of the mountain peak. Is that the Devil's Steely Mountain? Lu Ming thought in his heart. His eyes were filled with shock and doubt. This was because he felt that the suppressing hell steely bloodline in his body was emitting a scorching aura as if it was about to appear from his spine. What's going on? Why is the Devil's Steely Mountain causing the suppressing hell steely bloodline to react? Lu Ming was puzzled. Let's go. With a thought, Lu Ming flew towards the huge mountain that was shrouded in black mist. As he got closer, he could feel the grandeur and majesty of the huge mountain. The other mountains were also tall and majestic. However, compared to this mountain, they were far inferior. The suppressing hell steely bloodline's reaction was even more intense. Lu Ming's heart jumped. He felt that there was a powerful fluctuation in front of him. It was not just one wave, but several. Each wave contained a powerful devil aura. They were the experts of the Devil Temple clan. Lu Ming withdrew his aura to the extreme and flew forward. That human girl obtained a treasure in the Devil's Steely Mountain. We must not let that treasure fall into the hands of the human race. Let's attack together and kill her. Let's go together. That human girl has been surrounded. She can't escape. She must die today. The treasure in the Devil's Steely Mountain belongs to the Devil Temple clan. A few dry and unpleasant voices sounded. A few figures flew past in front of him. They were all members of the Devil Temple clan. Their auras were very strong. With a quick glance, Lu Ming realized that the Devil Temple clan members were all in the 6th level of the Spirit God realm. Could the person they are talking about be Little Qing? Not good. Lu Ming's expression changed. He followed the 3 Devil Temple clan members from afar. Boom, boom, sizzle. Not long after, a violent explosion sounded in front of him. There was also the sound of sharp weapons piercing through the air. There was still a great battle in front of him. This made Lu Ming feel slightly relieved. In front of him, the Devil Temple clan members increased their speed and flew quickly. They were like bolts of lightning. They flew past a few mountains and joined the battle. Not good. Lu Ming used the 9 Dragons' Heaven stomping steps and rushed over the last few hundred miles in an instant. He arrived at the battlefield. In front of him, more than 10 Devil Temple clan experts were besieging a human girl. Seeing the girl, Lu Ming's heart trembled violently. Chapter 1144. The beautiful woman in front of him was none other than the Xian Yanqing that Lu Ming yearned for day and night. It had been more than 3 years since Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing had parted ways in 9 Dragons City. After 3 years, Xian Yanqing had matured a little, but he had also lost some weight. His face was cold, and so was his gaze. At this moment, Xian Yanqing's demonic aura billowed to the sky. He gently pressed his palms forward, and a terrifying force field covered a radius of 100 miles, destroying everything. At the same time, above Xian Yanqing's head, there was a beautiful woman. She was sitting cross-legged on a black lotus, and her demonic aura billowed. Her palms were constantly striking out, blocking the attacks that came from all directions. This was Xian Yanqing's 3rd bloodline, which was very similar to Xian Yanqing's 2nd bloodline. However, there were 9 golden chakras around his body. A 9th grade divine grade bloodline. Moreover, Xian Yanqing's cultivation had also stepped into the third-level spirit god realm. There were 11 people from the Moshe clan besieging Xian Yanqing. The 11 Moshe clan members were all in the 6th-level spirit god realm. Each of them held a terrifying bone spike in their hands, and they surrounded Xian Yanqing and attacked him fiercely. Xian Yanqing's terrifying force field covered a radius of 100 miles, and the Moshe clan members' speed was greatly affected. Moreover, Xian Yanqing mainly focused on defense. Even so, he was still at a disadvantage. If this continued, he would be defeated sooner or later. Girl, hand over the demon statue, and I'll leave your corpse intact. Otherwise, you'll end up miserable. This human girl is really beautiful. Even I am tempted. After I take him down, I'll let him have a taste of my power. A series of unpleasant and ear-piercing voices sounded. You're courting death. At this moment, the killing intent in Lu Ming's heart exploded. Within his body, 8 dragon energies suddenly erupted, filling his body with incomparably powerful energy. Taking a step forward, Lu Ming's body turned into a beam of black spear light, darting into Xian Yanqing's force field. He activated the suppressing hell heavenly skill and threw a punch at a demon temple clan member. The Moshe clan member did not expect that someone would attack him at this moment. He wanted to dodge, but it was already too late. Bang! Lu Ming's fist slammed into the demon nether's back, and a terrifying power exploded out, creating a large hole in the demon nether's body. When Xian Yanqing heard the commotion, he thought that the Devil Sha clan's experts had come to reinforce them. Instinctively, he turned to look in their direction. When she saw Lu Ming's figure, her petite figure shuddered violently, and her eyes were filled with disbelief. At this moment, her eyes were completely focused on Lu Ming. She could not take her eyes off him at all. Kai! A sharp sound rang out as it rapidly approached Xian Yanqing. Watch out! Lu Ming was shocked and angry, and he quickly rushed toward Xian Yanqing. At this moment, a Moshe clan member seized the opportunity to attack Xian Yanqing while Xian Yanqing was distracted. Xian Yanqing only came to his senses after Lu Ming shouted at him. He unleashed his force field and retreated hastily. However, he was still a step too late. His shoulder was pierced by the sharp edge of the Moshe clan's bone spur. A small wound appeared and blood kept flowing. You're courting death, Lu Ming shouted, and his third bloodline appeared. A trace of energy entered Lu Ming's body, turning Lu Ming's hair and eyes blood red. Kill. His third bloodline turned into a battle sword. Lu Ming held the blood-red battle sword in his hand and used the 9 dragons' heaven stomping steps. He instantly appeared in front of the Moshe clan member who had launched a sneak attack. He slashed out with his sword, and sword light burst out, cutting the 6th-level spirit god expert in half. Lu Ming. Xian Yanqing didn't care about his injury, and his eyes were still fixed on Lu Ming, not wanting to move away at all. She was afraid that all of this was an illusion, a dream. If she moved her eyes away, everything in front of her would vanish. She didn't know how many times she had had such a dream. Little Qing, I'm here. Lu Ming reached out a hand and held Xian Yanqing's little hand. Xian Yanqing's little hand was cold. The heat from Lu Ming's palm was transmitted to Xian Yanqing's little hand, causing Xian Yanqing's body to tremble. His big eyes were filled with tears. Lu Ming, is it really you? Am I dreaming? Xian Yanqing looked at Lu Ming in a daze. His little hand tightened and grabbed Lu Ming's big hand tightly, as if he was afraid that Lu Ming would disappear if he let go. Silly, it's really me. Let's kill these Moshe clan members first. Lu Ming said softly, and then glanced around. Lu Ming suddenly appeared and killed 2 Moshe clan members with lightning speed. The other Moshe clan members were shocked, and they retreated far away. They didn't attack for a while. It's also a 3rd-level spirit god kid. He launched a sneak attack just now, and that's why he killed 2 of us. There's nothing to be afraid of. We can kill them if we join forces, a Moshe clan member said, his eyes cold. That's right. Let's attack together and kill. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The remaining 9 Moshe clan members attacked together. The bone spears in their hands broke through the void, and attacked Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing. Heavenly Demon Force Field. Xian Yanqing finally calmed down and shouted. She pressed her palm, and a terrifying force field exploded. After 3 years, Xianyanqing had awakened her third bloodline, and her cultivation had reached the 3rd level spirit god realm. Her force field seemed to have broken through as well, becoming even more terrifying. The heavenly demon force field shrouded the Mosha clan members. At the same time, there was a terrifying destructive force in the force field, which greatly reduced the speed of the Mosha clan members. However, Lu Ming wasn't affected at all. This kind of intent realm? Lu Ming's gaze flickered. He realized that Xianyanqing's artistic conception was one more type than before. It was a terrifying demonic artistic conception, and its power was terrifying. Without much time to think, Lu Ming stepped out. His killing intent surged like a tide, and he attacked the Mosha clan members. He realized that the 8th dragon force was indeed powerful. At this moment, all 8 dragon forces were unleashed, and his battle strength was even more powerful than before. Swoosh! Lu Ming appeared in front of a Mosha clan member, and his cold killing intent shrouded the Mosha clan member, making him shudder. Whoosh! The blood-red sword light slashed at the Mosha clan member. The terrifying power shocked the Mosha clan member, and he hastily used his bone spear to block. With a ripping sound, the bone spear was cut off. The sword light flashed, and one of the Mosha clan member's arms was cut off. The Mosha clan member was horrified and wanted to run away. However, Lu Ming's second sword attack came. Poochie! Bloody light burst forth, blood splashed out, and a head flew high into the air. A 6th level spirit god realm Mosha clan member was killed in an instant. If Lu Ming were to deal with a 6th level spirit god realm Mosha clan member alone, it wouldn't be so easy to kill him without a sneak attack. It would probably take some effort. However, with Xianyanqing's help, killing a 6th level spirit god realm Mosha clan member was easy. Swoosh! After killing the Mosha clan member, Lu Ming attacked another one. At this moment, the two seemed to have returned to the past. They had returned to the time when they were adventuring in the Eastern Wasteland. At that time, the two of them had also cooperated like this. Chapter 1145. Lotus Sword, Kill. Xianyanqing shouted as black lotuses appeared around her. The black lotus petals condensed into black lotus swords in the sky and shot towards the Mosha clan. Every lotus sword was terrifyingly powerful. There were intents lingering around them as they slashed through the sky and cut open the space. The Mosha clan members could only divert their attention to block the lotus swords. Their battle strength was affected again. Poochie! Lu Ming rushed over and killed another Mosha clan member in less than 2 moves. Not good. The two of them are too powerful. Some of the Mosha clan members cried out in fear. The combination of Lu Ming and Xianyanqing was terrifyingly powerful. It wasn't as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. Their battle strength had increased exponentially. The Mosha clan members wanted to retreat. What are you afraid of? Let's attack together. At this moment, an ear-piercing voice sounded. Not far away, a terrifying light flew towards them, emitting a powerful aura. 7th level spirit god. Lu Ming's heart shook. It was a Mosha clan member at the 7th level of the spirit god realm. Seeing a Mosha clan member at the 7th level of the spirit god realm, the other Mosha clan members became more confident. A 7th level spirit god was much stronger than a 6th level spirit god. Kill! Kill! The Mosha clan members tried their best to break through the force field and charged towards Lu Ming. Whoosh! The Mosha clan member at the 7th level of the spirit god realm charged towards Xianyanqing. He could see that Xianyanqing's influence was too great in a group battle. It would be much easier to deal with Lu Ming after dealing with Xianyanqing. Sizzle! The Mosha clan member at the 7th level of the spirit god realm charged into the heavenly demon force field. An ear-piercing sound rang out along with a series of flames. However, he still broke through the force field and charged towards Xianyanqing. Xianyanqing waved his hands and the black lotus swords were deflected by the Mosha clan members' bone spikes. Kill! At this moment, Lu Ming's figure flashed and appeared in front of the 7th level spirit god realm Mosha clansman. He slashed out with his blood-red battle sword and collided with the opponent's bone spike. Ding! Lu Ming's body and his opponent's body retreated at the same time. That Mosha clansman was shocked. He didn't expect Lu Ming to be so strong. He was only at the 3rd layer of Spirit God Realm, but he was actually able to push him back. Roar. Above Lu Ming's head, the 9 dragons' bloodline emerged. Lu Ming performed the bloodline fusion, turning into 9 dragons. The 9 dragons roared, and a devouring power burst out. Together with Xian Yanqing's force field, it enveloped the Mosha clan member. At the same time, the 9 dragons stepped forward and charged toward the Mosha clan. On the other side, Xian Yanqing also used bloodline fusion, turning into a peerless heavenly demon. His heavenly demon energy field became even stronger. He pressed his jade-like hand down, and a black jade-like palm print pressed towards the demon temple clan. Boom! Boom! Facing the joint attack of the two of them, the Mosha clan member at the 7th level of the Spirit God Realm was beaten back repeatedly and spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Prison suppression. Kill. The 9 dragons stepped forward, and every inch of his body could erupt with the prison suppression heaven art. The dragon claws and dragon tails were extremely terrifying. Moreover, Lu Ming had once comprehended a true dragon battle technique from the Jade Wall of the World Academy. When they worked together, their power was even more powerful. Bang! The Mosha clan member was beaten until blood kept spurting out of his mouth. His last wing was torn off by the 9 dragons' claws. Then, the heavenly demon that Xian Yanqing had transformed into slammed his palm down on the Mosha clan member's chest, almost tearing him into pieces. Although he didn't die, he lost half of his life. No, no! The Mosha clan member roared, and wanted to escape. At this moment, he was extremely terrified. He never thought that the 2/3 layer of Spirit God Realm ants would be so powerful. The two of them working together actually beat him, a 7th layer of Spirit God Realm existence, without any strength to fight back. However, it was already too late for him to escape now. Bang! The 9 dragons' claws slammed down on the Mosha clan member's head, piercing through his skull. A 7th layer of Spirit God Realm martial artist was dead. Run! The rest of the Mosha clan members were so shocked that their hearts almost stopped beating. This was too terrifying. A 7th layer of Spirit God Realm expert died just like that. It had only been a few moves. All of you, stay here. The 9 dragons roared, and their devouring power spread out rapidly, enveloping the rest of the Mosha clan. At the same time, Xian Yanqing's heavenly demon force field also spread out, enveloping all of the Mosha clan members. Roar! The 9 dragons stepped forward and instantly appeared in front of a Mosha clan member, clawing down and killing him directly. The heavenly demon that Xian Yanqing had transformed into also stepped forward and slammed his palm down, smashing a Mosha clan member into pieces. With the two of them working together, killing a 6th layer of Spirit God Realm Mosha clan member was as easy as chopping vegetables. No matter how hard the Mosha clan members roared, it was useless. They were all killed one by one. In less than a minute, the rest of the Mosha clan members were all killed, and their blood essence and energy were all devoured by the 9 dragons. At this moment, the 9 dragons shrunk rapidly and turned back into Lu Ming. Xian Yanqing also withdrew his bloodline. The two of them stood in the air, looking at each other. Their eyes were filled with longing for each other. Lu Ming! Xian Yanqing exclaimed softly. After the battle, Xian Yanqing was finally sure that all of this was real, and not a dream. Lu Ming really came to the 9 Serenities demon realm, and she really saw Lu Ming. At the same time, the two of them walked towards each other, looking at each other from a distance. Xian Yanqing could no longer hold back the tears in his eyes, and they flowed down his cheeks continuously. Little Qing! Lu Ming reached out his hand and wiped away Xian Yanqing's tears. Lu Ming, you're finally here. Xian Yanqing threw himself into Lu Ming's arms. Lu Ming also hugged Xian Yanqing tightly, as if he wanted to pull her into his body and never let her go. Unknowingly, the two of them kissed for a long time, unwilling to separate. After a long time, their lips parted. Little Qing, let's leave here first. Lu Ming arrived. After the battle here, the Mosha clan might come again at any time. Okay. Xian Yanqing nodded. Lu Ming held Xian Yanqing's little hand and flew in a random direction. After more than 100,000 miles, Lu Ming found a secret place and the two of them entered the mountain river diagram. Grotto Heaven treasure? Xian Yanqing blinked his big eyes. Okay, little Qing, heal your injuries first. Lu Ming said with concern. Xian Yanqing's shoulder was stabbed just now, and the injury was not light. Xian Yanqing nodded, sat cross-legged, and began to heal his injuries. After half a day, Xian Yanqing's injuries were completely healed. On a mountain peak in the mountain river diagram, the two of them sat side by side. Xian Yanqing's head leaned on Lu Ming's shoulder, and the two of them talked about their experiences during this period of time. The two of them had not seen each other for more than 3 years, and there was too much to talk about. Lu Ming talked about his experiences in the past few years, and Xian Yanqing's heart was in turmoil. Every time he heard that Lu Ming was in danger, Xian Yanqing would exclaim softly, worried about Lu Ming. Chapter 1146. When Lu Ming talked about how he came to the Holy City to participate in the competition of the younger generation and how he came to the 9 underworlds demon realm, Xian Yanqing's eyes flashed with a hint of coldness. He said, Lu Ming, you have been deceived by them. 10,000 points, just like me, is very difficult to achieve. Then, he looked at Lu Ming affectionately and said, Lu Ming, why are you so stupid? It's all because of me that you have to come here. Idiot, if I don't come to find you personally, how can I be at ease? By the way, when you came back from the 9 Dragons City, did you come here? Lu Ming asked. Yes. Xian Yanqing nodded and said, when I came back, Xie Qitian asked people to send me to the 9 underworlds demon realm. Unfortunately, although they know that my bloodline is inclined to the dark side, they don't know that my bloodline is the heavenly demon bloodline. In the 9 underworlds demon realm, I am like a fish in water. My cultivation speed is faster than the outside world. Moreover, I have awakened the 3rd bloodline. With the use of demon chi and demon stones, my cultivation speed is even faster. Speaking of this, Xian Yanqing's voice became cold, as if he was full of hatred towards the Xie family. Lu Ming's arm that was holding Xian Yanqing's arm tightened. It could be imagined that in these years, Xian Yanqing had been struggling and cultivating alone in the 9 underworlds demon realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't have such a cultivation. Thinking of this, Lu Ming's heart ached. Lu Ming, you are here. I am so happy. Xian Yanqing's voice whispered in Lu Ming's ear. Lu Ming turned his head slightly and looked at the beautiful face that was close to him. Feeling Xian Yanqing's soft breathing, he felt his heart throbbing. The beautiful face and the smile on his face seemed to be Lu Ming's everything. Lu Ming stretched out his hand and slowly ran his fingertips across the beautiful face, feeling every inch of Xian Yanqing's skin. Lu Ming slightly leaned his head forward and kissed those red lips that could make men go crazy. Those beautiful eyes were still open, looking at him and listening to Lu Ming's breathing. Lu Ming greedily demanded and entwined his fingers around Xian Yanqing's neck, Xian Yanqing's clothes, and waist. His hand slowly entered Xian Yanqing's body, feeling every inch of warmth. Xian Yanqing's body started to tremble slightly, then he let Lu Ming do whatever he wanted. Lu Ming hugged Xian Yanqing and slowly lay down on the bluestone on the mountain peak. His fingers moved gently, following the warm skin and touching the girl's skin. Lu Ming seemed to be savoring it carefully. The speed at which he moved his fingers was very slow, as if he wanted to use his touch to melt Xian Yanqing's body. Sliding his fingers across the smooth skin, Lu Ming's hand seemed to touch the soft curves. Following the curves, his hand climbed up. The towering curves were so smooth, and the skin there was so soft and full of elasticity, as if it could be crushed with a casual pinch. However, when Lu Ming climbed to the peak, his hand still couldn't help but clench. The soft and elastic part that was slightly deformed from the squeezing stimulated every cell in Lu Ming's body. It made his blood seem to boil, and his breathing became heavy. Ah! A soft sound like the sound of nature came out of Xian Yanqing's mouth, stimulating Lu Ming's blood even more, making his mouth suck even more greedily. Xian Yanqing's soft and beautiful eyes finally couldn't hold back their shyness and slowly closed, allowing Lu Ming to fiddle with them, quietly enjoying the blended love of water and milk. Spicy eyes, really spicy eyes. After an unknown period of time, a sudden shout interrupted the two of them. The two of them opened their eyes at the same time and saw Dandan not far away, staring at the two of them with his eyes wide open. Xian Yanqing's face immediately turned red. Even his ears and neck were red. Continue, continue. Don't worry about me, Dandan said leisurely when he saw the two of them looking at him. Scram. Lu Ming slapped out, and a palm print condensed from true energy blasted towards Dandan. Dandan was sent flying by Lu Ming's slap like a stone. Ah. Lu Ming, you're valuing your lover over your friends. No, you're looking down on your seniors. Dandan's voice came from afar. In the end, he turned into a black dot and disappeared in the air, flying far away. After the commotion caused by Dandan, the boiling blood of the two of them calmed down. You pervert, Xian Yanqing tidied up her messy clothes and said with a red face. Lu Ming chuckled and held Xian Yanqing's hand. He said, Xiao Qing, why did the Demon Temple clan besiege you? Because of a demon statue, Xian Yanqing said. Then, a demon statue appeared in her hand. The demon statue was small, only the size of a fist. However, it emitted a terrifying demon intent. This demon intent was domineering and domineering, as if it wanted to destroy the heavens and dominate the world. What a strong demon intent! Lu Ming was secretly shocked. It was just a piece of the demon statue and it was already so terrifying. This demon statue was definitely a precious treasure to those who practiced diabolism or the Moshe clan. It was no wonder that so many powerful figures from the Moshe clan had besieged Xian Yanqing. I got this demon statue from the demon Steely Mountain, Xian Yanqing said. Then, she kept the demon statue and the surrounding pressure disappeared. Xiao Qing, did you really enter the demon Steely Mountain? I heard that it's extremely dangerous there. Those who entered all died. Although Lu Ming knew that Xian Yanqing was fine, he couldn't help but worry. I heard that the demon Steely Mountain is indeed very dangerous. Many Demon Temple clan and human cultivators died there. However, I don't know why, but when I get close to the demon Steely Mountain, I feel a strong throbbing in my heart. It's as if something on the demon Steely Mountain is attracting me. That's why I took the risk and entered the demon Steely Mountain. However, the strange thing is that I didn't encounter any danger when I entered the demon Steely Mountain. Instead, I obtained an opportunity and broke through in my cultivation. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to bring out this demon statue from the demon Steely Mountain, Xian Yanqing said. You have this feeling too? What is it that's attracting you? Lu Ming was bewildered. Xian Yanqing looked at Lu Ming in astonishment and asked, could it be that you have it too? That's right. When I got close to the demon Steely Mountain, my second bloodline became hot and restless. It's as if something is attracting it. If I didn't control it, it would have appeared on its own. Lu Ming frowned slightly. He felt that this matter was inconceivable. Xiao Qing, what's in the demon Steely Mountain? I don't know. I only walked around the periphery and didn't go deep. The demon Steely Mountain was covered in fog and I couldn't see clearly. I originally planned to study this demon statue before entering the demon Steely Mountain, Xian Yanqing said. Then, the two of them discussed for a while but still couldn't come to a conclusion. In the end, they decided to explore the demon Steely Mountain. This was because Xian Yanqing had entered the demon Steely Mountain without any danger. The two of them chatted for a while more before walking out of the mountain river diagram and looking at the demon Steely Mountain in the distance. Chapter 1147. The two of them concealed their auras and approached the Devil Steely Mountain. Along the way, they felt the aura of the Devil clan and went around them. The two of them were getting closer and closer to the Devil Steely Mountain. The closer they got, the more the suppressing Hell Steely bloodline in Lu Ming's body throbbed. Soon, the two of them were 100 miles away from the Devil Steely Mountain. There was already a faint black mist here. The two of them did not retreat and continued forward. 100 miles passed in the blink of an eye and they entered the Devil Steely Mountain. Mo, mo, mo. Suddenly, a loud roar sounded in Lu Ming's mind. This voice was filled with a sense of lawlessness, but it also revealed a sense of helplessness and unwillingness. The black mist filled the area. With their cultivation, they could not see more than 20 meters around them. Moreover, there was a terrifying pressure on their bodies that made it difficult for them to fly. They could only land and walk forward. Little Qing, be careful. Lu Ming held Xian Yanqing's hand and walked forward carefully. Buzz. Lu Ming's spine was filled with blood-red light. The suppressing hell steely bloodline was throbbing more and more intensely. Lu Ming controlled the suppressing hell steely bloodline to prevent it from manifesting. The two of them walked for half a day and felt that they were already halfway up the mountain. They were getting closer and closer to the peak. The throbbing feeling came from the peak. Xian Yanqing also felt a strong attraction to this place, which caused her bloodline to throb. There are so many skeletons. Suddenly, Lu Ming saw many skeletons on the ground. The skeletons were not big and they were obviously the skeletons of the Devil Clan. It was said that many members of the Devil Clan had died here. It seemed to be true. Moreover, the skeletons all had storage rings on their fingers. Xian Yanqing grabbed at the air and a storage ring appeared in her hand. In the next moment, Xian Yanqing took out a pile of black stones from the storage ring. The stones were filled with dense demonic qi. This is a devil stone. It's very useful to those who practice the devil Dao. To me, it's even more useful than origin stones. Xian Yanqing explained. There are quite a few storage rings here. Perhaps they all have magic stones. Take them. When we leave this place in the future, they will be of great use to you. Lu Ming said. He reached out and sucked in the rings of holding and handed them over to Xian Yanqing. Xian Yanqing cultivated the demonic Dao. These demon stones were most suitable for Xian Yanqing. Xian Yanqing took them and put them away. Then, the two of them searched around and found many skeletons of the Moshe clan. Of course, there were also skeletons of humans, but there were very few of them. Demon. Devil. Demon. At this point, the sound became louder and louder. This sound directly affected one's mind and did not enter one's ears. It was as if there was a peerless demon emperor shouting and roaring from above. The two of them continued to move forward. Along the way, they kept the storage rings of the skeletons of the Moshe clan. Along the way, they collected more than 100 storage rings and a large number of magic stones. Putting everything else aside, the storage rings alone were worth a lot of money. After another half a day, the two of them finally arrived at the top of the mountain. Along the way, the two of them did not encounter any danger. This made the two of them secretly amazed. The Devil's Steely Mountain was very dangerous. Those who entered would die. This could be seen from the skeletons of the Moshe clan and the human skeletons that they saw along the way. However, their journey was calm and tranquil. Apart from the Moshe clan's cries, there was no other sound. Buzz. When they arrived at the top of the mountain, Lu Ming's spine was filled with blood-red light. The prison-suppressing Steely's bloodline was beating wildly. Even Lu Ming could not suppress it. With a loud rumble, the prison-suppressing Steely's bloodline appeared and expanded rapidly. Buzz. At the top of the mountain in front of them, a terrifying rumble could be heard. Then, they saw the black fog rolling and separating into two sides. The scenery in front of them was completely exposed. Seeing the scene in front of them, their hearts trembled violently. They were dumbfounded. There was also a Steely in front of them. A stone Steely. This stone Steely was incomparably huge. It stood tall like a majestic mountain. There was only one big word on the stone Steely. Steely. There was only one word at the top of the stone Steely. It was uneven, as if it was not a complete stone Steely. It seemed to be only a part of a stone Steely. The stone Steely was filled with an ancient aura. Its color looked very similar to Lu Ming's prison-suppressing Steely's bloodline. Buzz. Lu Ming's prison-suppressing Steely flew out and stopped in front of the stone Steely. The two of them vibrated continuously and emitted a bright light as if they were responding to each other. Lu Ming, why do I feel that your bloodline and this stone Steely are so similar? It's as if they are one. Xian Yanqing was extremely surprised. Lu Ming was also extremely shocked. This was because he felt that the stone Steely gave him a very familiar feeling. He knew that the throbbing from before had originated from this stone Steely. The two stone Steelies shook violently as blinding light filled the air. The experts of the Devil Temple clan who were entrenched in the surroundings of the Devil's Steely Mountain also noticed it. The Devil's Steely Mountain is acting strangely. Could it be that a peerless treasure has appeared? Dazzling light. A peerless treasure has appeared. Let's go and take a look. Numerous figures gathered towards the Devil's Steely Mountain, each of them exuding boundless devil aura. They were all experts of the Devil Temple clan. The weakest of them was at the 5th level of the Spirit God Realm, and there were even 7th level Spirit God Realm experts. A group of Demon Shaw clan members appeared 100 miles away from the Devil's Steely Mountain. At this moment, the black mist on the Devil's Steely Mountain had become very thin. They could clearly see the huge stone Steely emitting a bright light. However, the Demon Shaw clan members stopped there and did not dare to go any closer. The Devil's Steely Mountain's ferocious reputation was not just for show. Those who entered would die. However, looking at the shining stone Steely, the Demon Shaw clan members could not help themselves. Now that the Devil's Steely Mountain has changed, it might not be dangerous. That's right. I saw that human girl go in and bring out a devil statue. She's fine. It's time for the Devil's Steely Mountain to appear. Shriveled voices sounded one after another. The eyes of the Demon Shaw clan members were burning with passion. Charge! A group of Demon Shaw clan members could not help but roar as they charged towards the Devil's Steely Mountain. When they charged into the range of the Devil's Steely Mountain, a voice sounded in their minds, "Demon, demon, demon." The demonic sound was filled with a terrifying destructive power. Some 5th level spiritual god and 6th level spiritual god realm Demon Shaw clan members screamed as their bodies fell from the sky like dumplings in a pot. They fell to the ground without any signs of life. They were dead. At least 20 Demon Shaw clan members had died in an instant. A few 7th level spiritual god realm Demon Shaw clan members roared as they retreated frantically with blood flowing out of their 7 orifices. It can destroy souls. A 7th level spiritual god realm Demon Shaw clan member roared as he retreated a few hundred miles. Chapter 1148. On the top of the demonic Steely Mountain, Lu Ming's suppressing prison Steely bloodline resonated with the huge Steely. At this moment, the tremors were getting more and more intense. Buzz! The huge Steely let out a buzzing sound, and the entire mountain shook along with it. Huge rocks on the ground exploded as the Steely slowly rose up. The Steely rose up as if it wanted to follow the suppressing prison Steely bloodline out of the mountain. Slowly, the Steely rose up inch by inch. It seemed like a section of the Steely was embedded into the mountain. Boom! Suddenly, a terrifying aura erupted from under the Steely. This aura was extremely domineering, as if it could dominate the world. At the same time, a monstrous demonic aura spread out, as if a supreme demon was about to be born. Amidst the monstrous demonic aura, Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing could vaguely see a tall figure under the Steely. This person was a middle-aged man with a burly figure. His black hair draped over his shoulders, and his demonic aura was overwhelming. He looked like a demon god. The aura of a sovereign. This is a sovereign, a demon sovereign. Lu Ming's heart trembled. He could feel the majestic aura of a sovereign from this figure. This was the unique aura of a sovereign. Could it be that this Steely is suppressing a sovereign, a demon sovereign? Lu Ming's mind raced, and he thought of many things. Ha ha ha, how many years has it been? I can finally escape. An excited roar came from the demonic figure's mouth, and a terrifying aura rushed out, attacking Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing. Lu Ming's 5-colored intent surrounded his body, and his true yuan surged. The dragon force burst out to resist this pressure. On the other hand, the heavenly demon bloodline appeared above Xian Yanqing's head, and demonic aura bloomed, blocking this aura. No, I can't let this demon sovereign come out. Otherwise, Xiao Qing and I won't be able to withstand a slap from him. Lu Ming's mind turned, and his eyes focused. His mind was completely immersed in the suppressing prison Steely bloodline. Come back! Lu Ming roared in his heart. Bloody light spread out from his spine, and he used all his strength to control the suppressing prison Steely bloodline. Wang! The prison suppressing Steely's bloodline shook violently. Slowly, it was pulled back inch by Lu Ming. Come back! Get back here! Lu Ming kept roaring in his heart. The bloody light seemed to be on the verge of materializing, and his eyes were bloodshot. Whoosh! In the end, the prison-suppressing monument bloodline was pulled back by Lu Ming. It turned into a bloody light and flew into Lu Ming's spine, disappearing without a trace. Boom! The prison-suppressing steely's bloodline was retracted. The light of the huge steely dimmed and fell down again. No! Beneath the stone tablet, a roar of unwillingness could be heard. With a loud boom, the huge stone tablet pressed down heavily, causing the entire mountain to shake violently. The monstrous demon might also disappeared in an instant. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing felt their bodies lighten as they exhaled deeply at the same time. The two of them looked at each other and saw the shock in each other's eyes. The two of them did not expect that there would be a demon king suppressed on the Devil Steely Mountain. It was no wonder that the Devil Temple clan members had died. It must be the demon king's doing. Lu Ming, the reason why I felt my bloodline throbbing and the strong attraction force is most likely because of the demon king, Xian Yanqing said in a low voice. That should be the case. Lu Ming nodded. Xian Yanqing felt it because of the demon king, while he felt it because of the huge stone tablet. It was a broken stone tablet. What is this stone tablet? Why is it resonating with the prison-suppressing steely's bloodline? Lu Ming had many questions in his heart. Lad, quickly use your bloodline and let me out. At this moment, a deep voice came from beneath the prison-suppressing steely. It was the demon king. Senior, you are the demon king, and the two of us are only low-level spiritual gods. If we let you out and you kill us with a single slap, wouldn't we be wronged? Lu Ming pondered for a moment before he spoke. Haha, since you know that I am the demon king, why would I do such a thing? Since you saved me, you are my benefactor, and I will definitely repay you generously. The demon king continued to speak from beneath the stone tablet. Even so, I still don't trust you. Lu Ming spoke bluntly. Lu Ming didn't dare to be careless when facing a monarch realm expert. Otherwise, he would be killed with a single slap, and that would be an injustice. There was silence beneath the stone tablet, and it seemed like the demon king was thinking about what to say. After a short while, the voice sounded again. Lad, your bloodline should be the prison-suppressing steely's bloodline, right? I never expected that there would actually be someone who could awaken such a bloodline in the world. Lu Ming's eyes flashed, but he didn't speak. Lad, let me tell you something. This stone tablet before you is the real hell-suppressing steely, and it's the main body of your bloodline. The demon king's voice shook Lu Ming's heart. What? This damaged stone tablet is the real hell-suppressing steely? Lu Ming's eyes suddenly opened wide while tempestuous waves arose in his heart, and he gazed at the enormous stone tablet with disbelief. Otherwise, why do you think your bloodline can resonate with this stone tablet? It's because they are one. The demon king continued. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing were extremely astounded. According to legend, all bloodlines awakened by cultivators were traceable in the world, and they really existed. Some might have gone extinct during the Primeval times and the ancient times, and some might even be found in the modern era. Lu Ming had thought that the hell-suppressing steely was an ancient artifact from the distant past, and he never expected that he would see its true form in the world. This made it difficult for him to calm down. According to legend, the hell-suppressing steely was a supreme divine artifact in the distant past. Later on, there was a great war and it was shattered into several pieces. The stone tablet before you is a fragment of the hell-suppressing steely. The hell-suppressing steely suppresses all things in the world. If not for this steely, how could it have suppressed this emperor? The demon king explained to Lu Ming, his voice brimming with unparalleled confidence. Thus, as long as you control your bloodline, you can take away this hell-suppressing steely. If your bloodline can fuse with the real hell-suppressing steely, you will obtain enormous benefits, and you will also obtain a supreme divine artifact. If you can gather all the other fragments of the hell-suppressing steely in the future, you can use this treasure to dominate the world. The demon king continued, his words full of temptation. Lu Ming was truly tempted, and his eyes burned with passion. In the end, a bloodline was only a bloodline. It could be called an illusion, possessing part of the power of a real object. It could also be called a kind of inheritance. For example, a cultivator with a true dragon bloodline could comprehend a true dragon battle skill and borrow part of the true dragon's power. The stronger they were, the more power they could display. But in the end, it was not the real body, and it could not be as powerful as the real body. But with the help of the real body, it was a different story. Lu Ming had never imagined that he would encounter the true form of the hell-suppressing Steely's bloodline. Now that he had encountered it, he truly did not want to miss it. Lu Ming furrowed his brows tightly. Various thoughts were running through his mind. Should he let it go or not? Chapter 1150. Seeing that Lu Ming seemed to be tempted, the Fiend Emperor continued, "Furthermore, this girl's bloodline is extremely similar to mine. If I were to come out, I can pass on all my skills to her. Given her talent, it will be easy for her to become a king in the future. She might even surpass me in the future." The Demon Emperor continued to throw out temptations that were hard to resist. The mantle of a Demon Emperor was definitely a great temptation. "Lu Ming, it's all up to you." Xian Yanqing grabbed Lu Ming's hand and said, "Xiao Qing, I've finally found you. How could I bring you along with me? I don't care about these worldly possessions." Lu Ming grabbed Xian Yanqing's hand and was about to leave. "Come back, what are you doing? Don't you trust me? Am I, Xiao Wan, the kind of person who goes back on his words?" Seeing that Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing were about to leave, the Fiend Emperor panicked and shouted continuously. As soon as he said that, Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing's bodies shook violently at the same time. There was a look of disbelief in their eyes. "Xiao Wan? The Emperor of Chaotic Sky, Xiao Wan? How was this possible?" The two turned around and glanced at the giant boulder. "You're Xiao Wan?" Xian Yanqing's eyes were filled with disbelief. Xiao Wan was a peerless figure of the Imperial Xie clan 30,000 years ago. He was also the taboo of the Imperial Xie clan. He had single-handedly changed the situation of the Middle Continent, from the ancient sacred dynasty to the current state of affairs. It was all because of Xiao Wan. He had a mutated bloodline of the Xie clan, just like Xian Yanqing. However, how was it possible that someone from 30,000 years ago was still alive? "That's right, I'm Xiao Wan, the Emperor of Chaotic Sky, Xiao Wan. Girl, your bloodline is very similar to mine. You must have a mutated bloodline of the Xie clan, right?" Hee hee. The Demon Emperor let out a meaningful laugh. "Impossible, as far as I know, a dominator can only live for 10 to 20,000 years. If you're Xiao Wan, how could you still be alive?" Lu Ming shouted. Just now, when the stone Steely floated up, he had clearly sensed the aura of life, and not a wisp of imprint, which meant that Xiao Wan was still alive. How could an emperor live for 30,000 years? "This is all thanks to the prison-suppressing Steely. It's suppressing my body and slowing down the flow of my life force by several times. 30,000 years is equivalent to 10,000 years for me. If I were to be suppressed for another 30,000 years, I would really be gone," the Demon Emperor explained with a sigh. But Lu Ming's eyes were still flickering. "Lu Ming, what this person said must be true. I can sense that this person is of the same bloodline as me. Our bloodlines are very similar," Xian Yanqing whispered to Lu Ming. Was the other party really Xiao Wan? The two of them still found it hard to calm down. It was said that when Xiao Wan rebelled, he fought a great battle with the royal family. The battle caused the heavens to collapse and the earth to rend. Xiao Wan killed countless experts from the royal family. In the end, Xiao Wan was still defeated and killed by the royal family's experts. Could it be that Xiao Wan was not dead, but was suppressed here? Hee hee, no one in the royal family could kill me. They could only use the prison-suppressing Steely to suppress me here, hoping that time would wear me down. But they did not expect that although the prison-suppressing Steely suppressed me, it also slowed down the flow of my life force by several times. Kid, you and this girl from the Xie family must have been exiled here by the Xie family of the royal family. I can imagine that after what happened to me, the Xie family of the royal family must be 10 times more cautious of those with foreign bloodlines. I find it strange that they did not kill you directly," the Demon Emperor continued. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing remained silent. "Do you want to be exiled to the demon realm for the rest of your life?" As long as you let me out, I can take you and break out of the 9 underworlds. Don't worry, I, Ciel Wan, am a man of my word. I will repay kindness with kindness and revenge with revenge. The demon emperor continued. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing were very tempted by his words. It was even more tempting than obtaining the prison-suppressing stele or the demon emperor's inheritance. The biggest problem they were facing now was how to get out. Obviously, Xie Qitian wanted to exile them here and trap them in the demon realm for the rest of their lives. But Lu Ming still had many things to do. Yi was besieging the Yin and Yang mountain. His family and friends were all there. He had to get out. Okay, I'll let you out. In the end, Lu Ming decided to take a gamble. This was the only chance now. Okay, you just need to control the prison-suppressing stele bloodline and put it away. That's all. The demon emperor said. Buzz. Lu Ming did not hesitate. With a thought, the prison-suppressing stele bloodline appeared. As soon as the prison-suppressing stele bloodline appeared, it had a strong reaction with the huge stele. It grew rapidly, vibrated, and emitted a bright light. Put it away. Lu Ming shouted. He controlled the prison-suppressing stele bloodline to put the huge stele away. Buzz. 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 The huge stele kept vibrating. The word stele on it was shining. It resonated with the word stele on the prison-suppressing stele bloodline. It was almost identical. Whether it was the strokes or the aura, it was the same. Lu Ming was sure that this was the real body of the prison-suppressing stele. It was a fragment of the prison-suppressing stele. The fragment of the prison-suppressing stele slowly floated up and rose into the air. Below, the demonic chi filled the sky. The burly figure appeared again. Vast demonic chi spread between heaven and earth. Put it away. Lu Ming shouted. The fragment of the prison-suppressing stele vibrated and flew up into the sky with a boom. But below, the demonic shadow flew up with the prison-suppressing stele and disappeared into it. A huge demonic shadow was trapped in the fragment of the prison-suppressing stele. What's going on? Lu Ming was a little surprised. Sigh. I've been suppressed by the fragment of the prison-suppressing stele for too long. My demonic body is almost destroyed and my demonic chi is almost exhausted. My demonic chi and the fragment of the prison-suppressing stele have almost merged into one. Even if the fragment of the prison-suppressing stele leaves the ground, it's still suppressing me. I can't escape unless my cultivation recovers to the monarch realm. The demonic emperor, Ciel Wan, sighed. I see. Then how are you going to help us fight our way out of the abyss? Lu Ming asked. That's simple. You just have to merge the fragment of the prison-suppressing stele with your bloodline and put it into your spine. This fragment of the prison-suppressing stele will be under your initial control. As long as you withdraw the suppressive force, I can escape from the fragment of the prison-suppressing stele. However, you can't be too far away from the fragment of the prison-suppressing stele. Otherwise, you'll still be suppressed by the prison-suppressing stele. Ciel Wan explained. Lu Ming nodded. He started to control the prison-suppressing stele bloodline and merged it with the fragment of the prison-suppressing stele. After a while, the prison-suppressing stele bloodline merged with the fragment of the prison-suppressing stele. At this time, the fragment of the prison-suppressing stele shrunk rapidly and merged with the prison-suppressing stele bloodline. One could clearly see that the lower part of the prison-suppressing stele's bloodline was shining brightly as if it was real. It occupied about 1/3 of the area, while the upper 2/3 still looked unreal. This was the real fragment of the prison-suppressing stele, there was no mistake. Withdraw. Chapter 1151. Following this, Lu Ming summoned the prison-suppressing stele bloodline again. If I use the bloodline fusion now and turn into the prison-suppressing stele, its power will be shocking. Lu Ming's heart stirred. He could sense a vast power emanating from the prison-suppressing monument's bloodline. The prison-suppressing stele bloodline's grade didn't increase. It was still at the 7th level of the divine grade, but Lu Ming could feel that its power was shocking. If he used the bloodline fusion, it would be as powerful as a 9th level divine grade bloodline. My cultivation is still too weak. I can't fully unleash the power of the prison-suppressing steely bloodline. As my cultivation increases, I'll be able to unleash even more power. Lu Ming had many thoughts and a smile appeared on his face. This way, the prison-suppressing steely bloodline fusion would become his strongest trump card. I wonder if the prison-suppressing heaven skill will be more powerful. Lu Ming was looking forward to it. He could see that Xielwan's figure was still at the bottom of the prison-suppressing steely. Lu Ming's consciousness sank into the prison-suppressing steely bloodline and adjusted the suppressing power of the prison-suppressing steely bloodline towards Xielwan. Wang. The prison-suppressing steely shook and Xielwan's figure stepped out of the prison-suppressing steely and appeared in the air. Boom. A vast demonic aura burst out and pierced through the clouds. Ha ha ha, I'm finally out. Xielwan laughed. His long hair was loose and his eyebrows were sharp. One could tell that he was a handsome man when he was young. But now, he seemed to have gone mad. Lu Ming could understand. After being suppressed for 30,000 years, it was already good enough that he didn't go mad. After a while, Xielwan finally calmed down. He looked at Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing and said, "Let's go. I'll bring you out." A surge of demonic energy swept Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing. Xielwan stepped out and appeared outside the demonic Steely Mountain. Many demonic temple clansmen looked at them in shock. "I happen to have some tonics that can help me recover some of my strength," said Xielwan coldly. In the next instant, a terrifying demonic chi exploded from Xielwan's body and enveloped all of the Demon Sha clan. "Not good, let's go. Ah, save me." Shrill screams could be heard from the demonic aura. Lu Ming saw many 5th level and 6th level spirit gods of the Mosha clan being unable to put up any resistance. They turned into ashes one after another, turning into pure energy that was absorbed by Xielwan. Xielwan's body was like a bottomless abyss that constantly absorbed the energy. The Mosha clansmen at the 7th level of the spirit god realm were still able to resist for a while, but as Xielwan took a step forward, they exploded in the air and turned into energy that was absorbed by Xielwan. Xielwan's skin kept wriggling, and his aura also became a little stronger. It's a pity that these demon temple clan members are too weak. My immortal demon body has only recovered a little. It's still far from my peak. Xielwan sighed. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing were secretly shocked. Xielwan was indeed the demon emperor that shook the world. He was really terrifying. After being suppressed for 30,000 years, he had just come out and his strength was already very shocking. "We can't stay here for long. I'm afraid that the Imperial Xie clan will soon find out. Now, let's kill our way out." Xielwan's eyes were filled with cold killing intent. He wrapped Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing with his demonic chi and stepped out. His speed was terrifyingly fast as he rushed towards the exit of the demon realm. In just a short moment, they had crossed an unknown distance. The city that was the exit of the demon realm was already in sight. Above the city, there was a light shield that enveloped the entire city. Looking from the sky, there were experts guarding the city. In an instant, Xielwan appeared above the city with Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing and slapped down with his palm. A terrifying palm print bombarded the light shield. The light shield shook violently and a hole was blasted open. Xielwan took a step forward and rushed in. "Who's there? Shit, a devil has intruded." Numerous loud roars resounded in the city as numerous powerful auras rose up and charged towards Xielwan. So many experts. Lu Ming was secretly shocked when he sensed the aura. Those auras were extremely powerful, overbearing, and terrifying. Many of them were existences at the 5th or 6th level of the spirit god realm. There were even quite a few existences at the 7th level of the spirit god realm and above. "Become my tonics." Xielwan's eyes were icy cold as he blasted out with his palm. A group of spirit god realm experts were blasted apart and transformed into surging energy that surged into Xielwan's body. His aura grew stronger and stronger. Shrill cries resounded incessantly as experts were killed one after another. "Shit, he's too strong." Those experts turned pale with fright and retreated madly. "You're courting death." At this moment, a few terrifying auras rose up from the depths of the city, and a few figures instantly appeared in front of them. "They're so strong. They've surpassed the 8th level of the spirit god realm. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. The few people that appeared later were absolutely terrifying. Their auras were so strong that they were at the 8th level of the spirit god realm and above. 2 of their auras were vast and unfathomable. 2 9th level spirit gods and 2 perfection stage spirit gods. Hee. Ciel Wan sneered as he charged over. Boundless devil chi condensed into a saber that slashed towards them. The other party erupted with powerful combat strength as well, and terrifying attacks rained down towards Ciel Wan. The entire city shook and emitted dazzling light as numerous grand formations were activated. If it wasn't for these grand formations, the city would have been blasted apart. Ah! Suddenly, a shrill cry resounded as a 9th level spirit god realm expert's head was chopped off by Ciel Wan. After that, his spirit god flew out and was swept by devil chi before being absorbed by Ciel Wan. Ciel Wan's aura grew even stronger. The expressions of the remaining 3 people changed drastically. They actually didn't dare block Ciel Wan's attack and retreated with extreme speed. Ciel Wan didn't pursue them and charged towards the exit with Lu Ming and Ciel Wan. "Where do you think you're going?" A vast voice resounded as an enormous palm print condensed into form in the sky. It was as large as a mountain and suffused with a profound aura. That aura was much stronger than the concept of heaven and earth. A prime. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. A prime had made a move. A prime was actually considered a perfection stage spirit god, but a prime was already half a step into the martial emperor realm and had some of the power of a martial emperor. His combat strength was much stronger than other perfection stage spirit gods. Ciel Wan's face turned solemn as a prime made a move. The devil saber in his hand emitted a terrifying demonic aura. Luan Tian, devil saber. Ciel Wan slashed out with his saber, and the sky was split into 2 halves. The terrifying black saber light slashed onto the enormous palm. Boom! A shocking explosion resounded as the enormous palm was split apart by the devil saber. However, Ciel Wan's figure also retreated rapidly. A white-haired old man stepped out in front of him. The aura of a prime was clearly displayed from his body. "What kind of demonic being dares to barge into this place?" The white-haired old man spoke, but he was stunned before he could finish his sentence. His eyes widened as he stared at Ciel Wan. His eyes were filled with extreme fear, shock, and disbelief. How is this possible? Chapter 1152. White-haired sovereign was completely stunned when he saw Ciel Wan. He widened his eyes in shock and forgot to attack. Ciel Wan took the opportunity to lead Lu Ming and Xie Nianqing to the exit. Several experts tried to stop them, but they were all slapped away by Ciel Wan. Ciel Wan led Lu Ming and Xie Nianqing into the light gate and disappeared. White-haired sovereign only came back to his senses when he saw Ciel Wan and Lu Ming disappear. "Sovereign, who is that man? Why is he so powerful?" An expert flew to white-haired sovereign and asked. They were puzzled. White-haired sovereign could have stopped Ciel Wan, but he stopped at the critical moment. "I have seen a portrait of this man. He is the divine lord of Luan Tian, Ciel Wan," white-haired sovereign said solemnly. "What?" The others widened their eyes in disbelief. "Go after him," white-haired sovereign shouted and chased after Ciel Wan. The surroundings shook, and Lu Ming and the others appeared from another light gate. This light gate was the entrance to the holy city. "Kill!" Ciel Wan charged upward as soon as he appeared. Demonic chi billowed as he broke through all the barriers at the entrance. Ciel Wan broke through all the barriers and finally rushed out of the ground and into the sky. Rip! Ciel Wan tore the space apart and led Lu Ming and Xie Nianqing into the space crack and disappeared. At this moment, Xie Qitian, who was sitting cross-legged in the center of the holy city, suddenly opened his eyes. There was a look of surprise in his eyes. What a strong demonic chi and demonic power. This is the entrance to the 9 underworlds. Did something happen there? Xie Qitian murmured. He then got up and took a step forward. The space cracked automatically and his figure disappeared. The next moment, he appeared in the sky above the entrance to the 9 underworlds. At that moment, the white-haired utmost exalted was rushing out in a hurry. He just so happened to run into Xie Qitian. "Sacred Emperor, Something bad has happened. White-haired sovereign said in a panic. What's the matter? Xie Qitian frowned. He had a bad premonition. What could make a supreme martial artist so flustered? Holy Emperor, it's Ciel Wan. I saw Ciel Wan. The white-haired paragon said. What? Xie Qitian's eyes widened, and he looked horrified. What did you say? You said that the person who rushed out of the 9 underworlds was Ciel Wan, the divine lord of chaotic skies? Xie Qitian asked several times, which showed how terrified he was. They look exactly the same. I don't know if it's real or not, the white-haired paragon said. Let's go and take a look. Even though Xie Qitian was a saint emperor and would not change his expression in the face of trouble, after hearing that it was Ciel Wan, he lost his sense of propriety and became extremely anxious. Ciel Wan was a taboo in the imperial Xie family. Back then, the imperial Xie family dominated the central continent and even the divine wilderness continent. They were extremely prosperous and had as many experts as there were clouds in the sky. However, because of Ciel Wan, their strength had plummeted and their strength had declined greatly. Now, if Ciel Wan really appeared, with the current strength of the imperial family, how could they fight against him? Xie Qitian hurriedly entered the 9 underworlds and tore the space apart. Soon, he arrived at the demon Steely Mountain. Standing in the air above the demon Steely Mountain and looking at the empty demon Steely Mountain, Xie Qitian's body emitted a terrifying aura. 30,000 years. How could he still be alive after 30,000 years? Xie Qitian muttered to himself. Whoosh, whoosh. The space fluctuated, and 2 old men appeared beside Xie Qitian. Their vast rulers might filled the air. Near the demon Steely Mountain, there were some scattered demon Sha clan experts. When they felt the terrifying aura in the sky, they all fled for their lives. The demon Steely that suppressed Ciel Wan is gone. Could it be that Ciel Wan is still alive? How could he be alive after 30,000 years? An old divine lord said with a trembling voice. There was a trace of shock in his voice. They knew about the strange phenomenon on the demon Steely Mountain before, but they did not pay much attention to it. They thought that it was just a trace of Ciel Wan's remaining demonic consciousness. After all, how could an emperor live for 30,000 years without dying? It seemed to go against the rules of heaven and earth. They did not know that the Steely that suppressed Ciel Wan was the prison-suppressing Steely. They also did not know that the prison-suppressing Steely had slowed down the speed of Ciel Wan's life. Ciel Wan is simply heaven-defying. He can't be judged by common sense. Moreover, the guard said that he brought Lu Ming and Nianqing with him. This must be related to them, Xie Qitian said. His voice was filled with coldness. Your Majesty, what do you plan to do? An old divine lord asked. Even if Ciel Wan is still alive, he can't be unharmed after being suppressed for 30,000 years. He must have lost a lot of his vitality and strength. Otherwise, with Ciel Wan's personality, he wouldn't be in such a hurry to escape. Please use the Tianji apparatus and lock onto Ciel Wan. No, lock onto Lu Ming's location. At the same time, spread the message to all Overlord forces to kill Lu Ming. Those who succeed will be rewarded with a tribulation heavenly treasure. At this moment, Xie Qitian had regained his composure and regained the demeanor of a divine lord. At first, he wanted to say Ciel Wan, but then he changed his tone and said Lu Ming. He had a vague feeling that this matter must have something to do with Lu Ming. In the past, Xian Yanqing had been in the 9 underworlds for so long, and nothing had happened. However, Lu Ming had only been in there for a short while, and such a big mess had happened. He didn't believe that it was a coincidence. Yes, Your Majesty. The 2 old divine lords bowed. Ciel Wan took Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing and tore through space. After 7 or 8 times, Ciel Wan stopped. His breath was weak. I've been suppressed for 30,000 years, and my vitality is greatly damaged. My devil body almost collapsed, and I don't have much strength left. The supplements I absorbed before were too weak, and now they're almost used up. I can't help you anymore. Ciel Wan sighed. Senior, how can you recover? Lu Ming asked. I need supplements. I can naturally recover by killing experts. If I can kill an divine lord, I might be able to recover my strength. Ciel Wan smiled. Lu Ming was speechless. Kill and Divine Lord? Forget it. He didn't want to die. Of course, there are other ways. Although I was suppressed back then, I still have a backup plan. Take me to the border between the Central Continent and the East Continent. I have a backup plan there. If I can recover some of my strength when I get there, I will be able to protect myself by then, Ciel Wan said. Lu Ming nodded. It was normal for someone like Ciel Wan to have a backup plan. Then, Ciel Wan told Lu Ming an address, and turned into a beam of light. He disappeared from Lu Ming's spine and entered the fragments of the prison-suppressing stele. Let's go. Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing looked at each other and flew toward the east. But not long after, the two suddenly stopped. Chapter 1153. Oh no, is this the divine secret apparatus? Xian Yanqing cried out in alarm, bewildered. Divine secret apparatus? What's that? Lu Ming looked at the ball of light above his head and frowned. How was he going to travel with such a big ball of light above his head? At this time, Xie Qitian's figure reappeared. He looked at the sky and sighed. Sure enough, the imperial family used the divine secret apparatus. Senior, what's the divine secret apparatus? Lu Ming asked. You should know about the divine secret chamber of commerce, right? Xie Qitian said. Lu Ming nodded and said, it said that the divine secret chamber of commerce is controlled by the imperial Xie family. That's right, the divine secret chamber of commerce was established by the imperial Xie family. Their purpose is to obtain information from all over the world. They use the divine secret apparatus to gain insight into many things that others don't know. At the same time, the divine secret apparatus has another function, which is to pursue and capture. As long as they can grasp someone's aura and activate the divine secret apparatus, they can condense a projection of the divine secret apparatus above that person's head and find that person's location. Now, the imperial family has activated the divine secret apparatus. The divine secret apparatus's projection will emit a kind of divine secret force field. As long as an inscriber refines a disk array that can sense the divine secret force field, they can sense the approximate location of the divine secret apparatus's projection and lock onto your location. I'm afraid it won't be long before you are found, Ciel Wan said. Is it really that magical? Lu Ming frowned. He channeled the true Yuan in his body and threw out a few punches. A few fist auras soared into the sky and pierced through space, but they were completely useless against the projection of the heavenly secrets apparatus. They simply passed through the projection. It's useless. The divine secret apparatus's projection can't be destroyed. Unless the other party stops the divine secret apparatus, the divine secret apparatus's projection will always be there, Ciel Wan said. I don't believe it. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. He formed a seal with his hands and two light gates appeared in the sky. The Divine Gate 9 Seals Sealing Gate. The two light gates landed on both sides of the divine secret apparatus's projection, emitting a bright light. Under the light of the sealing gate, the divine secret apparatus's projection dimmed and slowly shrunk. This is 9 seals of the Divine Gate. Ciel Wan's eyes. Bang! Bang! In the sky, the projection of the celestial secrets apparatus that was about to dim suddenly shone brightly, and the two sealed doors exploded. The 9 seals of the Divine Gate are useless. Lu Ming frowned. I didn't expect you to have mastered the Divine Gate 9 seals. This is the ultimate technique of the Sky Sealing Sovereign. With the Divine Gate 9 seals, you should be able to seal the Divine Secret Instrument's projection for a period of time. However, your cultivation is too weak, so you can't seal it. How about this? Teach me the Divine Gate 9 seals. Once I comprehend it, I'll be able to seal the Divine Secret Instrument's projection for a period of time and buy us some time, Ciel Wan suggested. All right. Lu Ming agreed without a second thought. It was just a secret technique. So what if he taught it to Ciel Wan? As long as it could solve their current predicament. At that moment, Lu Ming gave the jade talisman that recorded the 9 seals to Ciel Wan. Ciel Wan's eyes lit up. He didn't expect Lu Ming to be so decisive. This kid will definitely be a top figure in the future, Xiao thought to himself. Alright, keep flying east. As long as you keep moving, it'll make it harder for the other party to find you, Xiao said. With that, Xiao entered the fragments of the prison-suppressing stele. Little Qing, you enter the mountain river diagram. Lu Ming looked at Xian Yanqing. Millimeter. Xian Yanqing nodded. She also understood that it would be easier for Lu Ming to move alone. With a flash of light, Xian Yanqing entered the mountain river diagram. Lu Ming took a step forward and continued flying toward the east. Lu Ming used the 9 dragons' heaven stomping steps to travel. He was as fast as a flash of light. Moreover, Lu Ming specifically flew in remote directions. On this day, the entire middle continent was shaken. The royal Xie family sent a message to all the major forces in the world. Not only the overlords, but also the second-tier forces sent a message. The royal family activated the heavenly secret instrument and condensed a heavenly secret projection on Lu Ming's body. They called on all major forces to kill Lu Ming. The royal family would reward those who killed Lu Ming with a tribulation transcendence heavenly treasure. As soon as the news came out, Middle Continent was in an uproar. The royal family activated the divine secret instrument, and their target was Lu Ming. If they remembered correctly, didn't Lu Ming enter the abyss after the million-year sacrifice? Many people who knew the inside story knew that the score Xie Qitian set for Lu Ming was to lock him up for the rest of his life. It was impossible for him to reach that score. But now, the royal family activated the divine secret instrument to kill Lu Ming. How did Lu Ming escape? Most importantly, the treasure rewarded by the royal family was a heavenly treasure. This shocked all the major forces, regardless of whether they were overlords or second-tier forces. Then, they became greedy. The royal Xie family was actually willing to give out a heavenly treasure. As the name suggested, a heavenly treasure could help a martial artist transcend the tribulation. A martial artist would face many tribulations along the way. Putting other tribulations aside, just the heavenly tribulations alone were not few. There would be a heavenly tribulation when one broke through to the martial king realm. There would be a heavenly tribulation when one broke through to the spirit god realm. There would also be a heavenly tribulation when one broke through to the emperor realm. There were many tribulations, and each one was more terrifying than the last. How many people could survive them? On the other hand, a heavenly treasure could help one transcend the tribulation. It could be used regardless of one's cultivation level. Using a heavenly treasure to break through to the martial king realm could be said to have a 100% success rate. Breaking through to the spirit god realm could also increase the success rate by 50%. Breaking through to the emperor realm could also increase the success rate of transcending the tribulation. How tempting was that? Which force? Which expert wouldn't be tempted? Moreover, a heavenly treasure could be used repeatedly. Once one person used it, another person could use it too. It was too important for a major force. How many experts could it increase? The most fatal temptation was for the supreme martial artists. The next step for supremes was to break through to the monarch realm. A heavenly treasure to transcend the tribulation was a fatal temptation to them. Immediately, the overlord forces and second-tier forces refined formation discs that could sense the heavenly secret force field to sense Lu Ming's location. Lu Ming flew all the way. In the blink of an eye, a day had passed. He didn't know how far he had flown. There was a projection of the heavenly secret instrument above his head, so he naturally couldn't take the teleportation formation. He could only rely on himself to fly. Oh no, Lu Ming, there's a powerful existence approaching from the north. It's a perfection stage spirit god. Suddenly, Xiao voice sounded in Lu Ming's ears. A perfection stage spirit god. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. With his current cultivation, he would only die if he encountered a perfection stage spirit god. He wouldn't have the slightest chance of resisting. I'll take you away. Xiao figure appeared, and he used his remaining strength to tear open space. He took Lu Ming into space and disappeared. Chapter 1154. Somewhere far away, the space cracked open and Xiao stepped out of the crack with Lu Ming. At this moment, the demonic chi on Xielwan's body had dimmed. Lu Ming, I've done my best and exhausted the last of my strength. I can't tear the space apart anymore. It's up to you now, Xielwan said. Lu Ming nodded and frowned slightly. He was thinking of finding a place to hide in the mountain river diagram and wait for Xielwan to complete the Divine Gate 9 seals. He didn't believe that the Divine Secret Instruments projection could still appear in the mountain river diagram. At this moment, Xielwan's gaze flickered. He looked in one direction and sneered. I didn't expect that even some 5th and 6th level spirit gods would join in the fun. Lu Ming, you should have no problem dealing with 5th and 6th level spirit gods, right? Get me some tonics. After saying that, Xielwan entered Lu Ming's body and disappeared. Lu Ming stood in the air and waited quietly. Swoosh, swoosh. Not long after, the sound of something breaking through the air could be heard. Rays of sword light pierced through the void and flew towards him. In a flash, the 5 rays of sword light dissipated and 5 figures stood around Lu Ming, surrounding Lu Ming in the middle. There were old men and middle-aged men among the 5 figures, but they all wore the same white robe and carried a long sword on their back. The Sky Martial Sword Sect. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with a trace of cold killing intent. Among the 5, there were 2 6th level Spirit God Realm and 3 5th level Spirit God Realm. They were all from the Sky Martial Sword Sect. Lu Ming knew that this territory was most likely the Sky Martial Sword Sect's territory. Otherwise, how could he encounter 5 people from the Sky Martial Sword Sect at once? Ha ha ha, we're the first to find it. What great luck. A middle-aged man laughed loudly. His aura was violent and his 6th level Spirit God Realm aura was revealed. His eyes were filled with blazing flames as he looked at Lu Ming. If he killed Lu Ming, he would get a Tribulation Transcendence heavenly treasure. At the thought of this, his heart trembled with excitement. Although this person is young, he can't be underestimated. I heard that in the Holy City, this person displayed a terrifying battle prowess that was second only to Long Chen. An old man at the 5th level of the Spirit God Realm spoke with a slightly solemn expression. What are you afraid of? No matter how strong he is, he's only at the 3rd level of the Spirit God Realm. We have 2 6th level Spirit Gods and 3 5th level Spirit Gods here. Can he still overturn the heavens? The robust middle-aged man from before said confidently. Are you done with your nonsense? At this moment, Lu Ming spoke out coldly, causing the 5 men from the Celestial Martial Sword Sect to be stunned as they looked at Lu Ming in bewilderment. If you're done with your nonsense, I'll send you on your way. Boom. As soon as he finished speaking, Lu Ming's aura erupted. 8 strands of dragon force instantly erupted from his body. He took a step forward and charged towards a 5th layer Spirit God expert, striking out with his palm. Rip. This palm strike was terrifyingly powerful. The space under the palm shattered like tofu. The terrifying aura completely enveloped the opponent. That man's eyes widened as he revealed a terrified expression. However, he didn't even have the chance to scream before he was torn apart by Lu Ming's terrifying power. Blood splattered across the sky. Damn it! You're courting death. How dare you sneak attack us? The other 4 men were slightly stunned. Then, they roared and unsheathed their battle swords. A vast sword aura soared into the sky. Kill! Lu Ming roared as the 3rd bloodline appeared above his head. A strand of energy poured into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's body was covered in a bloody light as his killing intent swept out like a tide. A drop of blood turned into a bloody battle sword. Lu Ming held it in his hand and slashed out. Whoosh! A bloody light flashed and slashed towards the 6th layer Spirit God middle-aged man. Shrouded by the endless murderous intent, the middle-aged burly man shuddered. His eyes were filled with horror. He tried his best to slash with his sword, but the sword gleam collapsed under Lu Ming's blood-colored sword gleam. The blood-colored sword gleam slashed the middle-aged burly man's glabella. Poochie. The middle-aged man was directly slashed into 2. Even the Spirit God didn't escape. The remaining 3 men were terrified when they saw this scene, and they were almost scared out of their wits. How could Lu Ming be so terrifying? A 6th layer Spirit God expert was killed with a single sword strike. There was an entire 3 layers of difference between them. Flee. 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 At this moment, they only had a single thought in their hearts, and that was to flee. The further they fled, the better. This was a god of death. The 3 of them transformed into 3 sword lights and fled in 3 different directions with all their might. Kill. Lu Ming took a step forward and executed the 9 dragons' heaven-stomping steps to charge towards a 5th-layer spirit god expert. He caught up to this person in an instant and slashed out with his sword. This person let out a roar of despair and resisted with all his might. However, it was useless. The sword light descended and destroyed everything. Pu. Blood splattered as a head flew off into the distance. At the same time, sword chi overflowed and minced this person's spirit god. With such a delay, the other 2 had already flown a long distance away. Don't even think about leaving. Go. Lu Ming waved his hand, and the bloody sword in his hand transformed into a bloody light that charged towards a 5th-layer spirit god expert with extreme speed. On the other hand, Lu Ming executed the 9 dragons' heaven-stomping steps and chased after the remaining 6th-layer spirit god expert. Lu Ming's figure was like a flowing light, and he caught up to his opponent in just a few breaths of time. Lu Ming, you've killed us. You'll die as well. The exalts of my Sky Martial Sword sect have already moved out. You can't escape. This person roared, and his eyes were filled with despair. He executed the bloodline fusion and transformed into a sword, wanting to fight to the death. Even if he died, he wanted to make Lu Ming pay a price. Unfortunately, his thoughts were destined to fail. Lu Ming executed the hell-suppressing heaven art and struck out with his palm. Ever since the hell-suppressing Steely's bloodline had merged with a section of the real hell-suppressing Steely, the power of the hell-suppressing heaven art had clearly increased when he executed it. Using the same amount of true yuan and the same level of the hell-suppressing heaven art, the power was much stronger than before. Coupled with the eruption of 8 dragon energies, Lu Ming's strength was truly terrifying at this moment. He was much stronger than when he fought the various geniuses in the Holy City. If he were to fight the underworld child now, Lu Ming was confident that he could defeat him in a few moves. Boom! The palm suppressed everything as if it possessed boundless power. It pressed down on the sky and chopped down on the sword that this person had transformed into. Under the palm, the sword was shattered into pieces, and the underworld child returned to his human form and coughed up blood. Under the second palm, the underworld child's body was torn apart. Whoosh! A blood-colored sword light flew over and floated above Lu Ming's head again, turning into a drop of blood. Clearly, the 5th-level spirit god cultivator was also killed by the blood-colored sword. The 5 Sky Martial Sword sect experts were all killed. Demonic chi spread out as Xielwan's figure appeared. He looked at Lu Ming in surprise and said, "Your battle strength is not bad. I didn't expect that a genius like you would be born after 30,000 years. If you were in the same era as me, you could be my opponent." Lu Ming's battle strength surprised Xielwan. Chapter 1155. Senior, you're flattering me, Lu Ming said. Haha, there's no need to be humble. These people will become my nourishment. They can at least help me recover some of my strength. Xielwan laughed and turned into a cloud of demonic chi, which wrapped around the bodies of the Tianwu sword sect's experts that Lu Ming had killed and absorbed them all. Xielwan had practiced some kind of cultivation technique that was extremely overbearing. It could directly absorb a cultivator's essence and turn it into his own essence. It was comparable to the devouring power of the 9 dragons. Of course, Xielwan's cultivation was unfathomable. He was considered an expert even among the emperors, so it was normal for him to have various means. Following this, Xielwan did the same thing and absorbed the remaining 4 cultivators. The demonic chi on Xielwan's body wriggled and his aura became stronger. 5th and 6th layer spirit gods are too weak. They can only recover a little, but it's better than nothing. Lu Ming, there's a 7th layer spirit god coming from the east. Hihi, they're good nourishment. Xielwan laughed coldly. Although Xielwan's aura was weak and his strength was far from his peak, his spiritual sense was still terrifying. It was at the level of a martial emperor, so he could sense the situation from far away. Therefore, he could sense the enemy in advance. 7th layer spirit god. Then let's kill them. A sharp glint flashed in Lu Ming's eyes. He guessed that the Imperial Xie clan must have promised a valuable reward. Otherwise, why would these people who were not from the Imperial Xie clan be so eager to kill him? However, if they wanted to kill him, they would have to be prepared to be killed instead. Lu Ming took a step forward and headed east. At this moment, in the east of Lu Ming, there were two burly men in their 50s or 60s who were flying toward Lu Ming. Both of them were wearing white robes and carrying battle swords on their backs. It was obvious that they were the experts of the Tianwu sword sect. One of them was holding a formation plate in his hand. There was a flickering light on the formation plate not far from them. We're almost there. Lu Ming is over there. He's not dead yet. Haha, looks like we're the first ones to find him. The two of them smiled at each other, their eyes burning with passion. Why is he coming toward us? Suddenly, one of them spoke. They realized that the light on the formation plate was rapidly approaching them. Haha, he's courting death. He doesn't know we're here. Haha, it seems like God's helping us. The other person laughed. Aware of Xielwan. Xielwan's matter was too serious. The royal Xie family did not divulge the news. Only a few people in the royal Xie family knew about it. The royal Xie family only told Lu Ming to the public. The two of them chatted as they flew. Not long after, a black-robed young man arrived in front of them. The gazes of the three men collided. However, to the surprise of the two Tianwu sword sect powerhouses, Lu Ming did not seem surprised to see them. Instead, there was a trace of murderous intent in his eyes. To be. He shook his head and threw the bad premonition out of his mind. Xielwan was only a junior at the 3rd level of the spirit god realm. No matter how strong and heaven-defying he was, how could he surmount 4 levels of cultivation to fight them who were at the 7th level of the spirit god realm? They'd lived for a few thousand years, yet they'd never heard of a genius that could surmount 4 levels of cultivation to battle a 7th level spirit god at the 3rd level of the spirit god realm. How could anyone that could attain the 7th level of the spirit god realm be weak? All of them were extremely formidable existences, and all of them were geniuses when they were young. They felt that they were overthinking things. Let's attack together and kill him. At that time, we'll split the rewards equally. One of them spoke. Even though they felt that it was impossible for Lu Ming to be a match for them, they decided to attack together and end the battle quickly so as to avoid any mishaps. All right. The other person nodded as well. Clang, clang, clang. Their swords droned while sword chi tore through the sky and stirred the wind and clouds. Both of them strode forward at the same time and charged towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming, I'll leave one to you and the other to me. Xielwan appeared and transformed into a strand of devilish chi that swept towards one of them. Kill. Without any superfluous words, Lu Ming charged towards one of them. His palm was like a heavenly blade as he executed the Hell Suppression Heaven Art and pressed down. Clang. His palm collided heavily with the opponent's sword, and a terrifying rumble resounded. A ripple effused out at a terrifying speed from the place where the palm and sword collided. A few 100 kilometers away, a mountain that towered into the clouds was swept by the ripple, and it was directly severed at the waist. Shattered rocks shot through the sky while dust and dirt suffused the air. Bang! 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 A figure took 3 steps back successively after the collision. It was an expert from the Sky Martial Sword sect. He took a step back, whereas Lu Ming's figure merely swayed slightly. How could this be possible? The expert from the Sky Martial Sword sect opened his eyes wide, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. He was actually blasted back by a single palm strike from Lu Ming in a head-on collision. How could this be possible? He clearly noticed that Lu Ming was indeed at the 3rd level of the spirit god realm. A 3rd level spirit god had actually blasted a 7th level spirit god like him back by 3 steps. This was too terrifying. This lad is too monstrous. Kill him, I must kill him. The expert from the Sky Martial Sword sect roared in his heart. He circulated his true origin to the extreme, and at the same time, He executed bloodline fusion to form a sword and unleashed his strongest combat strength. This lad had a 5th-level divine bloodline. Roar. A dragon roar resounded, and the 9 dragons bloodline appeared. Lu Ming also unleashed his 9 dragons bloodline and executed bloodline fusion to transform into 9 dragons. The 9 dragons roared as they stepped into the air and pounced towards the opponent. Bang! Bang! The dragon claws smashed through the air and clashed with the sword continuously. However, the sword was completely at a disadvantage and was no match for the 9 dragons. Back then, when Lu Ming had just entered the abysmal demon realm, he had to borrow the power of the 3rd bloodline in order to kill the strong cultivator of the Xie family, who was at the 7th level of the spirit god realm. But now, Lu Ming didn't need to overload the 3rd-level spirit god's power to suppress the opponent. After more than 10 moves, the sword was completely suppressed. It was constantly being bombarded by the 9 dragons, and it was constantly trembling and trembling. Every move of the 9 dragons contained the suppressing hell-heaven art, and it was too powerful. Every move seemed to have a heavenly monolith pressing down on him. Ah! Suddenly, a scream came from not far away. It was the scream of another expert from the Sky Martial Sword Sect. He was killed by Ciel Wan and was wrapped in a ball of demonic chi. This made the expert who was fighting with Lu Ming tremble in his heart, and fear filled his heart. His heart was in a mess, and his strength was even weaker. Lu Ming seized the opportunity to bombard the sword with several moves. With a bang, the sword exploded, and the expert revealed his true form. His face was pale, and he spat out blood. He quickly retreated, wanting to escape. The 9 dragons stepped into the air, and their speed was terrifying as they chased after the opponent and launched continuous attacks. Chapter 1156. Now, Lu Ming could kill a 7th-level spirit god expert by himself. Of course, there was a difference in the strength of the 7th level of the spirit god realm. This person was considered ordinary among the 7th level of the spirit god realm. If he had awakened a bloodline at the 6th level of the divine realm or even a 7th level of the divine realm, or if his mastery of a low-grade divine realm martial skill was higher, he wouldn't have been so easy to kill. As soon as this person was killed by Lu Ming, Ciel Wan's demonic chi flew over and enveloped this person. In just a few breaths of time, not even a speck of this person was left. Lu Ming secretly felt pity. If he had devoured a few 7th-level spirit gods, his cultivation would have improved rapidly. However, Ciel Wan's recovery was the key. If Ciel Wan's cultivation recovered completely, no, he didn't need to recover completely. As long as he recovered to the level of an ordinary Emperor Realm expert, their safety would be guaranteed. Lu Ming, another powerful expert, is here. This time, it's a perfected spirit god. We can't deal with him. Let's find a place to hide first. We'll come out after I've cultivated the divine Gate 9 seals. Ciel Wan sensed for a moment and said, "All right." Lu Ming nodded and turned towards the south. He executed the 9 dragons' heaven stomping steps and turned into a stream of light and disappeared. Not long after Lu Ming left, an extremely powerful aura appeared at the place where the battle had taken place. This person sensed carefully and frowned as he muttered, "Junior brother Wan and the others' auras are here. But judging from the remnant auras, they should have fallen." Lu Ming actually has such a powerful method to kill a 7th-level spirit god. This person muttered to himself and then looked towards the south. A fiery light flashed in his eyes as he chased towards the south. Lu Ming flew for more than 100,000 miles and saw a huge lake. He dashed into it and a long spear appeared in his hands. The long spear spun and pierced through the mud and rocks at the bottom of the lake, heading underground. At the same time, under the cover of Lu Ming's Earth concept, the speed at which Lu Ming penetrated the rocks underground was extremely fast. In a short while, he had penetrated 100 miles underground. At the same time, the rocks behind him merged together again as if no one had passed through. This heavenly secret instrument's projection is really amazing. It can still merge deep underground. Lu Ming frowned as he looked at the heavenly secret instrument's projection above his head and continued to rush underground. After a few breaths, he went down another 100 miles. Then, with a thought, Lu Ming appeared in the mountain and river diagram. Once he entered the diagram, Lu Ming, he looked up, he let out a long breath. The projection above his head, the heavenly secret instruments projection, was finally isolated. The mountain and river diagram was indeed a legendary heavenly abode treasure. It seemed to be of a higher level than the Xie family's heavenly secret instrument. It had successfully blocked the projection of the heavenly secret instrument. Deep underground, the heavenly secret art. The heavenly secret instrument's spirit Xie instrument, but the light heavenly secret instrument, the spirit of the heavenly divine soul instrument Dao Ming Xie. Heavenly spirit God instrument, heavens' instrument, heavenly Chi's instrument. Heavens, why did the disk array lose its connection to the divine secret instrument? That shouldn't be the case. The celestial fate apparatus is the most mysterious treasure of the Xie clan. Even if it's hidden underground, it should still be able to sense it. Could it be that the Xie clan has suddenly stopped operating it? The man frowned, and all sorts of thoughts appeared in his mind as he looked around. In the mountain-river diagram, Xian Yanqing sat cross-legged under the tree of enlightenment and cultivated quietly. Lu Ming came to Xian Yanqing's side. Enlightenment ancient tree? You even have an enlightenment ancient tree? Xielwan's figure appeared. Looking at the tree of enlightenment with 3 leaves, he was shocked. The mountain and river diagram, the tree of enlightenment, both of them were legendary treasures, yet Lu Ming had both of them. Even the chaotic demon emperor was shocked. Although Xielwan was incomparably powerful back then and his name shook the world, he did not possess such a treasure. They were all obtained in the Battle of Providence. Lu Ming casually found an excuse. What he said was half true. The mountain and river diagram was indeed obtained in the Battle of Providence, but the tree of enlightenment was not. It was spewed out from the divine gate. Kid, you're really lucky. Many people have participated in the Battle of Providence. I also participated in it back then, but I've never heard of anyone who could obtain such a treasure, Xielwan said, his eyes still filled with surprise. Lu Ming smiled and did not explain further. All right, I'll start comprehending the divine gate's 9 seals now. With the help of your tree of enlightenment, I'll definitely be able to cultivate faster. With that, Xielwan also sat cross-legged under the tree of enlightenment. Lu Ming also sat cross-legged at the side, quietly comprehending the concept. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed. At this time, Xielwan ended his cultivation. Lu Ming also sensed it and ended his cultivation. He said, "Senior, are you done cultivating?" Xielwan nodded and said, "The initial cultivation was successful, but it will still take some time to cultivate to greater mastery." The Divine Gate's 9 seals is indeed mysterious. Now go out, I'll help you seal it and try. Lu Ming nodded and with a thought, he came out of the mountain and river diagram. As soon as he came out of the mountain and river diagram, the Divine Secret Instruments projection condensed above his head again. Divine Gate's 9 seals, seal. Xielwan's hands continuously formed seals. In the next moment, sealing doors appeared around Lu Ming. There were a total of 4 sealing doors in 4 directions, appearing in the 4 directions of the Divine Secret Instruments projection. The light was resplendent, enveloping the Divine Secret Instruments projection within. Seal. Xielwan shouted again, and the power of the seal erupted. The 4 light doors pressed down and finally gathered together to form a light door. The Divine Secret Instruments projection also disappeared without a trace. Hide. Xielwan groaned once again. The remaining light door shuddered violently and disappeared too. Lu Ming exclaimed in his heart. As expected of Xielwan, a top-tier martial dominator realm expert. His comprehension was too outstanding. Previously, Lu Ming had spent 3 days to barely succeed in forming a single sealing door. On the other hand, Xielwan had only spent 3 days to form 4 sealing doors, and he was able to use them more skillfully than Lu Ming. The higher one's cultivation was, the deeper one's understanding of martial arts would be, allowing them to learn various secret techniques and martial skills at a faster pace. Lu Ming, given my current cultivation level, the gate of sealing that I cast can only seal you for 3 hours. After 3 hours, the Heavenly Secret Instruments projection will break through the seal. by then, you will have to seal it again, Xielwan said. 3 hours, that's enough. Lu Ming let out a smile. His appearance began to change, and even his aura began to change too. Following this, he dashed toward the ground. Within a certain distance from Lu Ming, many experts were searching for Lu Ming. Previously, there was news that Lu Ming had appeared here. Naturally, it attracted many powerful figures. Apart from the experts of the Tianwu sword sect, there were also experts from the Royal Xie clan, and even experts from other factions such as the Cold Blood Hall and the Heavenly Eagle Fortress. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.